All right. Should be live, hopefully. I'll give it a little bit of time to see if anybody shows up. All right. So if this is your first time watching me, my name is Adam Starseed Bey. If you're watching me on YouTube, just all you gotta do is just type in Adam Starseed Bey. Definitely subscribe, like the page, share it out. I talk about many different things from spirituality to things that are going on in the world. Just many different other subjects, to make you think, to make you do research, and all that good stuff, because research is key in all things. If you're watching me on facebook.com/realtalk Adam Starseed Bey, that's my main page at the moment that you can get a hold of me. Definitely like the page, share it out. If you got any questions or concerns, that's the page to go to. And I'm also going to be plugging the fringeradionetwork.com. Thanks to Iron Johnny. He made this awesome logo for what he's going to be putting up on the fringeradionetwork.com, so then you can actually check out my audio, and I think you can download it too. He's still working on it, but it's going to be there for you. So big shout out to Iron Johnny for the awesome logo. So it definitely looks awesome on YouTube. So definitely check out the fringeradionetwork.com, and you can also check him out on Spreaker.com/The Iron Show. So pretty cool stuff. So yeah. So anyways, today we're going to be talking about the city of Jerusalem. This actually popped up today during my research. Just looking up the words Zion and Jerusalem. And this is what I love about research, is that there's so many beautiful things that are said in the Bible. The Bible is very poetic, but you just have to crack the codes of what the words mean, right? So I was writing some stuff, and Zion translates into the highest point, right? The highest point, the highest potential of what you can be or you can obtain, right? Christ is within you. The heavens are within you. God is within you, right? The highest peak, the highest point. It's always talked about in the Bible on how Moses climbed up the mountains, and a lot of things happen up in the mountains, right? That's that sacred place to commune with the Creator, is up in the mountains. And Jerusalem translates to the city of Shalom, or basically peace, the city of peace, right? And that's very beautiful. A lot of us who grew up in churches, and even now, always feel that the Bible is talking about the Middle East, and that everything, the origin and everything originates in that area, right? But if you do research on the texts and things of that nature, the Bible really speaks to you like on a personal level, like the hero's journey. It just really speaks to you. It speaks to you about common times, and it just really gives you that personal realization of what's going on around you, right? There's so many idol worshiping that happens within the Bible, but there's also, as you read through the Bible, you get to Christ's story, and he talks about a whole new thing, a whole new way of life, of communing with the Creator within you instead of outside you. So it's beautiful. It really is. So, there's all this talk about the city of Jerusalem, the new Jerusalem that's going to come down from the heavens, right? And there's definitely a lot of different things that we can look at. But if you want to look at it as a whole, if Jerusalem translates to the city of peace or the city of Shalom, and it's going to rise down from the heavens, that makes sense, right? We look towards Zion, the highest point, which would be the heavens, and Jerusalem is going to come down from the heavens, right? We are bringing heaven to earth, or at least a piece of heaven to earth. And how do we do that? Is when we commune, when we fellowship, and when we talk with our Creator and with Christ. We are bringing Jerusalem down bit by bit, piece by piece, light by light. The Christ light shines within us, so we're bringing Jerusalem here now, right? People always want to think, people want to think so much that this great catastrophic event's going to happen, and that we're going to see Christ or this UFO or ship come down from the sky, which I could talk about definitely probably through this video. They're waiting for something catastrophic to happen, right? So many people grasp outside themselves, waiting for God or Christ to come down and save them, and they give them all nice groups of hugs and all that stuff and make them feel loved, right? But the love comes in here. The love comes inside you. And that's what we have to be bringing, that good news of that Christ's love is in here. The city of Jerusalem is in here. And when you discover that light within here, it is our job, once we fix ourselves, that's the key thing. We have to fix ourselves. We have to deal with the shadow self within and all the other emotional dramas and daily things that we go through, right? We have to build ourselves spiritually. We have to build ourselves up spiritually and be ready. Just like a soldier, right? We're getting ready to go out to the battlefield, right? You can't just go sign up and then go, all right, Adam, I'm going to head you right into the battlefield right now. No training, nothing. You're just going out there right now. I'm not ready. Well, it don't matter if you're ready. You're going out there right now. Holy crap, man. That would be insane, right? So you got to be able to build yourself. You got to train yourself and be ready for the battle that's at hand, right? Because there's a lot of strategies and techniques and everything that you need to know when you're on that battlefield. And that's what it is spiritually. You have to train yourself spiritually to go out to the battlefield, which would be the world, right? Which would be the world, because we had a lot of crazy things that are going on in the world. A lot of people that don't know the love of Christ within them, or the love of themselves that they can discover, right? Everybody can discover true love within themselves, but they have to be willing to give up what they think they know of themselves, right? You can have fun and you can take part in this world, right? You can take part in this world. I love to play video games when I can and stuff, but the main world is what you're going into. You're in the work environment. You're going to be dealing with a lot of people. You're walking around, you're on vacation, you're visiting cities and stuff. You're going to be around a lot of people, man. You're going to meet people that are going to judge you. You're going to meet people that are going to love you. There's just a diverse world that we live in. So it's our job as the light of Christ on this earth to help people out, if they need it. You see someone crying down the street, hey man, take that step farther and say, hey, what can I do for you? What's going on? And that's just taking that extra step and just being prepared for the battlefield, right? You can talk about, the war of the heavens and things like that, which is happening. But I think on a smaller scale, we have to look at that we need to take care of what we can control at the moment too. So that was a big explanation, but hey, it needs to be talked about. So yeah. So it's all about bringing Jerusalem down. Our light is that beacon for bringing that Jerusalem here to earth. So it was something very beautiful that I discovered today, and I figured I would go ahead and talk about it. So we'll go ahead and we'll read some scriptures here, just kind of a brief description of Jerusalem, and we'll go from there, as well as giving you key insights, like the word David, for example. The word David translates to beloved, my beloved ones. So that's very beautiful too. I really like that. So 1 Kings 11:32. But he will have one tribe, for the sake of my servant. It says David here, but for the sake of my servants, the beloved ones, and for the sake of Jerusalem, for the sake of the city of peace, the city which I have chosen for all the tribes of Israel. For all the tribes of Israel. I love that word Israel, because it translates to is, and then you got Ra, which is the sun god, right? Ra, and then El, which can be God or Yahweh or I am that I am, the self-existing one, right? Israel is the sun, the creator. Is the sun the creator? So think about that, man. But Israel, translations for it is I am contends, or to fight, right? Or to fight. We live in a world of Israel, right? Are we going to question God? Are we going to wrestle with the gods of the earth? Are we going to wrestle within ourselves, right? Are we going to be able to find Ra, the sun, within us, right? Christ's energy, right? There's so many words, so many ways in how you can interpret all of these, but at the end of the day, it's a universal language. We just have to put it all together. Is Ra-El, the sun, Ra, the sun, Christ, the light of Christ. It's pretty cool. All right. 1 Kings 8:44 through 51. Well, actually, I'm going to go ahead and read. So I found an interesting one here. First Kings 8:44 through 51 reads very similar to 2 Corinthians 6:34 through 39. So I'm going to go ahead and read 2 Chronicles 6:34 through 39 because it's basically about the same. When your people go out to battle against their enemies or against the world, by whatever way you shall send them, and they will pray to you towards the city of peace, which you have chosen, and the house which I have built for your name, and the house which I have built for your name. What is this house? This house is your temple, is your body, right? This is your house that communes with the Creator and communes with God. And our name is within here, which is our soul, our birthright. So something to think about there. Then hear from the heavens their prayer and their supplication, and maintain their cause. When they sin against you, or when they dwell in the darkness, right? They're talking, they're gossiping, they're plotting against you. That's what sin is darkness. For there is no person who does not dwell in darkness, or who does not dwell in an unbalanced state of being. And you are angry with them and deliver them to an enemy, so that they take them away captive to a land far off or near. If they take thought in the land where they are taken captive, and repent and make supplication to you in the land of their captivity, saying, we have sinned, or we have been living in darkness, the unbalanced state. We have committed iniquity, I'm sure I just butchered that, and have acted wickedly, which means that they have made their eyes open, that they have been doing vulgar things. They have been doing things of the ego. They have been doing things that don't create the good news, that bring love to the world. If they return to you with all their heart, which means the soldiers of Christ, right? The soldiers of Christ, ones who are bringing that light to the world, the ones who are prepared for the world. If they return to you with all their heart and with all their soul in the land of their captivity, which is their body, they are captive within their own body. They're unaware of their birthright. Where they have been taken captive, and pray towards their land, which you have given to their fathers and mothers, and the city which you have chosen, and towards the house which I have built for your name, then hear from heaven, from your dwelling place, their prayer and supplications, and maintain their cause, and forgive your people who have lived in darkness against you. And that can go a lot of ways. When it's talking about against you, is that against Christ? Is that against the Creator? Yeah, it would be, because we're not living under the divine laws of the Creator. We're living under the divine laws of humans, right? We're living under the laws of humans, and they have taken God's or the Creator's name in vain, right? And I talked about this last video about In God We Trust, right? They have it plastered all over the United States, In God We Trust, making it look like the United States is under the Creator's law, but in actuality, they're under their own laws and their own rules, right? They've created their own judges on this earth. And that's a big thing. That's something that we have to realize. It is that way. And we still have to commune with the laws of humans. We have to, otherwise we're going to go to jail. So it's just realizing, that there's two laws. There's human laws and the false gods that run this world. And there's God divine laws, which is attached to your birthright, which is your soul. So that's why it's so important to commune with the Creator and with Christ within you, so you can learn about those divine laws and bring those divine laws from heaven, the city of Jerusalem, and bring it back down, so we can create a city of peace down here on earth. So really cool stuff right there. All right, 1 Kings 11:36. But to the sons and daughters I will give one tribe, that my servants, the beloved, may have a lamp always before me in the city of Shalom, in the city of peace, the city where I have chosen for myself to put my name. It's beautiful. It's just plastered all over the scriptures in the Bible there. 1 Kings 14:21. And this is a word I have to do some research on. Now Rehoboam, I butchered that name like crazy. The sons of Solomon reigned in Judah. Was 41 years old when he became king, and he reigned 70 years in the city of peace. So Solomon reigned 70 years in the city of peace, which is interesting. It says that because if you read the Testament of Solomon, it talks all about the Testament of Solomon. It talks all about on how he built this temple, and that he was able to learn about all the stars, the celestial beings in the sky, and all these stars had names, and he was able to commune with them, ask them what they did, and things of that nature. So it's very interesting, so 70 years would be like a lifespan, right? He spent most of his life, Solomon spent most of his life within his temple, learning about the knowledge of the Creator and learning about the knowledge of the laws of Christ, right? So we have to look at that. We have to balance things out, between the physical reality and the spiritual realm as well. So it's pretty cool there. I don't know why that was in there, but it was in there. All right, so the city which the Creator, or the I Am, had chosen from all the tribes of Israel to put his name there, and his mother's name was Naamah as well. So those names have meanings, but I don't have them on me right now. So let's see here. Man, I'm going to have to look that up. I'll have to look it up later. 2 Corinthians 12:13. So King Rehoboam, I have no idea how to say that, strengthened himself in the city of peace, in the city of Shalom, and reigned. Now Rehoboam was 41 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 70 years in the city of peace, the city which the I Am, or the Creator, had chosen for all the tribes of Israel. I'm going to have to watch my phone here because it's going to get close to dying here. Let's see here. To put his name there, and his mother name was Naomi. Let's see. 2 Kings 23:7. The I Am said, I will remove Judah also from my sight, as I have removed Israel, and I will cast out Jerusalem, the city of peace, the city which I have chosen, and the temple which I said my name shall be there. And basically, just letting you know, that if we don't dwell with the Creator, and if we don't continue to commune with Christ or be anointed in the soul, right? Then we are leaving the city of peace. We're leaving the city of peace, and we're communing in the world. We're communing in the world and living more by the world than by our birthright, right? It talks about the Garden of Eden. Eden translates into delightfulness, right? So everything looks delightful, pleasant, pleasing to the eye. We want to live more outside ourselves instead of within ourselves, right? Everything, there's so much distractions, man. The churches are distractions. What's in the churches? We got the idols of Christ and Mary and all these things, that are outside ourselves. And a lot of times people feel they're communing with God in that way. But in actuality, the churches should be saying, hey, make sure you're dwelling inside your temple, because that is where you're going to truly have that personal relationship with the Creator in Christ, is in you. It's great to fellowship with others under a building, but you got to make sure you are communing with the Creator and Christ within you at all times. And that's really what like pastors and priests and stuff like that should be telling their people when they leave, is that make sure that you're continuing to commune with the Creator inside you, because this is the true temple within. So awesome stuff there. So let's see what we got going on here. It's just kind of just random scriptures. It doesn't really talk about Jerusalem a whole lot. Let's see what we got here. Nehemiah chapter 1, 8 through 9. Remember the word which you commanded your servant Moses, which I think Moses means to depart, I believe. Let's see if I wrote that down here. Don't think I did. Something like that, or going around the rivers. So anyways, we'll just keep it as Moses, saying, if you are unfaithful, I will scatter you among the people. But if you return to me and keep my commandments, if you return back to the Creator, to Christ, and keep my commandments, the divine laws, and do them, though those of you who have been scattered were in the most remote parts of the heavens, right? It's letting us know that we were part of the heavens at one time. I will gather them from there, and I will bring them to the place where I have chosen, to cause my name to dwell. To cause my name to dwell. So, if we commune with the Creator, we're going to be able to continue to go back together. This goes into a lot of things. I mean, this goes into dreams. This goes into meditation. This can even go into some of the more perceived, what would be labeled New Age, would be like astral projection, or meeting our souls in the spirit realm together, right? We can meet each other. We can see each other in the spirit realm, right? I don't have a lot of personal encounters in that way, but if you look at dreams, and if you dream about somebody, say your mother's in your dreams, or a friend you talk to, or something like that, you see them in your dreams. In actuality, you can also be spiritually with them, right? You can be spiritually with that person, and you can be healing. You can be just doing a lot of things in the spirit realm. Everything is a projection at the end of the day. Dreams are a projection of what we how we view ourselves, or being empathic is a big thing, right? Because we are sensing the ethers that surround us, so we're having to deal with that as well. I talked about this, I think it was the last video, about if you wake up one morning and you feel like you got hit by a car, you're like, oh my word, I didn't go to the gym. Either I slept wrong or something else is going on. If you really feel like you're tired and you just got hit by a car, that means you're more likely you were playing in the spirit realm, right? Because you got multiple bodies. You got this physical body, and you got your spirit body, and your spirit body does a lot of work outside you, right? We're not taught this. It's just based on personal experience, but it makes a lot of sense on how we commune, on how we are playing in both realms, right? There's a lot of things that go on. There's a lot of things that take our energy, that distract us from what we should be paying attention to, right? There's a lot of vampire energies that are out there, and with us being empathic and just communing with all of these other bodies, there's a lot of things that go on outside us. So that's where you just have to pray and meditate. You got to learn on how to create a shield that surrounds you and be able to just take that time to keep that shield cleansed and purified, right? It's just all about communing and getting back with the Creator and just understanding your body a lot better. So some deep stuff right there. Let's see, 1 Corinthians 15, 1 through 3. Now the beloved ones built houses for himself in the city of the beloved, and he prepared a place for the ark of the Creator and pitched a tent for it. Then the beloved said, no one is to carry the ark of the Creator, or the I Am, but the Levites, which I would have to look that word up. Again, everything has a hidden meaning in there. For the Creator, or the I Am, chose them to carry the ark of the Creator and to minister to them forever. The ark of the Creator, what is that? That's going to be your soul within you, right? Our birthright within us. We all have a ark within us. And to minister to him forever. And the beloved assembled all of Israel at the city of peace to bring up the ark of the Creator to its place which he had prepared for it. Again, our body is prepared for us. Our soul goes within here, and we have to be communing in this ark, right? You hear about the city of councils within us, the table with the 12 disciples, or the 12 elders, or the 12 seers, or the high seers. There's always that talk about the 12, right? Look at the zodiacs, you can look at the 12 dimensions, you look at the chakra points, right? The 12 dimensions of the chakra points, the 13th chakra being the sacred place, then the 14th chakra, which would be more of that perfect element of the self, right? There's a lot of symbolisms that are within there, right? Talk about the will, things of that nature. It's talking about within here, right? Our ancient ancestors tried the best they could to talk about this stuff. So you have to be able to just kind of look at it in different ways. Let's see. And the beloved David assembled all Israel at the city of peace to bring up the ark of the Creator to its place which he had prepared for it. 2 Samuel 6, 1 through 19. Holy cow, this might be long. Let me see here. Yeah, we'll go ahead. We'll pass on that one. So 2 Chronicles 3:1. Then Solomon began to build a house of the Creator, or built a house within him, right? Because Solomon was talking about on how he built the temple, right? He entered into his temple, and he was beginning to learn and talk with the Creator and all the spirits that dwell within us, right? And this goes into a lot of things, right? If you read the Testament of Solomon, it really has a lot to deal with parasites within the body, learning how the body really works and functions, right? Because if your body has a lot of parasites, it's going to mess you up and make you do things you shouldn't be doing, right? I talked about this in quite a few of my videos about parasites, and if the parasites stay within you and you get a lot of parasites in you, parasites are known to just go up within your body. They don't go down, they continue to go up. So, and if the parasites are so bad, they're going to go into your brain, and since those parasites are little consciousness, they're little souls too. They can begin to manipulate the way you think and how you act, and basically you become the parasite. There's a lot of studies out there and a lot of researchers that say that this world is really ran by parasites and fungus. And it's very true. The world is ran by parasites and fungus. So when that is ultimately our number one enemy is parasites and fungus. And that's uncanny. That is astonishing. So that's something to think about, and that's something that Testament or the Testament of Solomon talks about as well. So it's a good book. I definitely recommend it. You can look it up online for free. The Testament of Solomon. Let's see, what do we got here? Now these are those whom David the beloved appointed over the service of song in the house of the Creator, the house of the I Am, after the ark rested there, after the soul rested there. They ministered with song before the tabernacle of the tent of meeting, until Solomon had built the house of the Creator in the city of peace. And they served in their office according to their order. They served in their office according to their order. This again is the city of peace. Your body can be the city of peace, but you got to know on who's living in your city of peace, right? This goes into the movie Osmosis Jones. Check that movie out, Osmosis Jones. It really gives you a good insight of what happens inside your body, right? Because we have a huge universe of antibodies and parasites and just a whole world within us. All these little consciousness streams within us. And people don't really see that or realize that. It's astonishing, right? And you can look at that outside ourselves. You know, in a way, we are parasites, or good parasites, to the earth, right? We are on the earth's body, and it's up to us to take care of this earth, right? We're either going to be good antibodies or bad antibodies on this earth. So it's something to think about, right? You know, we get so focused that we think that the world evolves around us, but in actuality, we're just a small little ant, right? Or many people say, you know, that we're just a pebble in the sands that surround the ocean, right? That surround the ocean. So, you know, we're just a little speck of energy or a piece of the Creator. So we got to look at it in that way, right? You know, our ego can get the best of us. We see that in America. You know, people think that their God, that their lifestyle, their diversity is huge, and they got to be proud and stand up for something like that, right? But at the end of the day, you know, what kind of good news is that spreading, right? You know, it's good to be comfortable with yourself. Definitely be good to be comfortable with yourself, learning more about yourself, accepting yourself, right? At least learning who you are. But I think at the end of the day, maturity is key, and we really have to realize, you know, the world doesn't evolve around us. We're just a piece of creation, right? And we got to realize that we are being watched because we are adults, and as we evolve, who's watching us? Our children are watching us. And because of that, we got a huge responsibility to make sure that our children are being raised right, learning about family values, and having them realize, you know, it's not just all about them with their selfies and their lifestyles, choices, right? There got to be a sense of maturity as they evolve in life, you know, as they become adults as well, right? You know, it's important to keep that child of you alive, right? Because, you know, when we become adults, sometimes we can become bitter, we can become hateful in this world. So it's good to be able to continue to maintain the child self. And if you've never been a child, you know, there's a lot of people I've talked to that were never able to be a child because bad things happened to them, right? And they were never able to be a child. So a lot of times adults need to go back to their childhood and live out a childhood of some kind, and you can still do that if you find the means of doing so. So just like myself, I've always been fascinated, and I love video games. Video games to me as a whole is definitely a reminder of my childhood, but there's a lot of deep elements that I learned from video games. That's where you really learn that the creator speaks to you in many different ways. So like video games, I like to play RPGs like Final Fantasy and things like that have a very philosophical thought process on life. It makes you think, and it makes you learn more about learning about diverse characters, right? You meeting different people along your path and learning that you can work together with all of these diverse people, right? Just because somebody thinks differently or believes in something differently doesn't mean you can't talk to them as a person, right? Those who think they're God are going to argue and disagree with you, but those who are mature-minded will sit down and have a conversation with you, right? I don't care what kind of lifestyle you have, as long as you're not harming anybody. I will sit down and say, hey, let's sit down and let's discuss your views on life, and let's go from there, right? I got a lot of friends who are gays and lesbians. I got friends who are atheists. I got friends who are very Christian, strong, centered in things. I got friends who don't have any kind of spiritual development or growth in their lives, but you got to be able to just speak to them as a person. I do that. That's just how I would like to be treated, right? You're going to treat people the way you want to be treated. So if you're talking smack to somebody, of course they're going to talk smack to you, because that's what you bring in. Unless if it's a mature-minded person like myself, I'm not going to let something get to me, unless if it's something that would involve harm, right? Then hopefully you would take action in a mature manner. So it's just maturity is key at the end of the day. It really is, because a lot of times we just have to realize that lashing out doesn't solve anything, but maturity is key. And if that person doesn't know maturity, you just gotta let them be and let them blow off steam. All right, so let's get back here. I'm gonna get off here shortly. I've almost been talking here for about 40 minutes, it looks like. So let's see here. Let's read this one. 2 Chronicles 33:7. Then he put the carved image of the idol which he had made in the house of God, of which God had said to the beloved, and to Solomon his son, in this house in the city of peace, Jerusalem, which I have chosen for all the tribes of Israel, I will put my name forever. Excuse me. So let me read that again here. That's interesting, because remember, we're talking about Solomon. It is within you. The temple of Solomon is within you. So let's read this again. 2 Corinthians 33:7. Then he put the carved image of the idol which he had made in the house of the I Am, in the house within you. Okay, a carved image. So what is this carved image that is within us, right? That carved image. That could be a representation of our soul, right? A representation of our soul. Our soul, if we go within ourselves, there would be that great ball of light. That ball of light could be a representation of the Creator within us, right? You go into deep meditation, you discover that light within you. That could be that Creator. You're looking at your soul through meditation, right? And this is a good thing of like how I like to view it, is the term as above, so below. So when we look up into the dark sky and we see all the stars in the sky and the planets as a whole, those are little suns. Those are stars. So like when it talks about all the suns dwell in the heavens, right? All the suns dwell in the heavens. Well, those suns could be stars in the sky, and we could be those stars. Our soul could actually be outside ourselves. So one of those stars could really be us, and we're looking at our very soul outside ourselves, and our soul is looking down at us, right? That's pretty trippy. It really is. And the interesting thing is, and I always like to challenge people, is that look up in the dark sky and look at the stars and see what star constellation calls to you. What star constellation always draws you in, like you feel like there's a piece of home, and you feel like there's something that calls your name to those stars. So look up at that stars, and if there's a constellation or something like that calls to you, do research on it, meditate on it, and just see if there's some kind of story that is being told to you through meditation, through that star constellation. So that's definitely something I'll challenge you on, and definitely share your testimonies. Whoever's watching this, share your testimonies on what you have discovered. It's quite interesting. It really is. As above, so below. That is a very real thing. So never forget that, man. So honestly, I think I'm going to go ahead and end it on that. I don't know where my battery life is on my phone, so I don't want to just get turned off like that. So awesome. So thank you all for joining me. I don't know who's joining me because this live feed doesn't show anything on who's on here. That's what I was telling my son. I was like, I don't know if anybody watched me, and then it was quite a few views on there. So thank you all for whoever watching me on here. I see Karen on there. How's it going, Karen? At the end of the day, it's definitely about that relationship with the Creator and Christ within you, and that it is your responsibility. Once you are anointed with the Spirit, you become balanced and discover that city of peace within you, right? That highest point, which I think I'll probably make a video more on that. But reaching the highest point is going to be up here in your crown area, right? Discovering your crown and putting your crown back on, right? You got the third eye up here, the true first eye. The eye is the lamp of the body. That's written in the Bible. The eye is the lamp of the body. Definitely look that up. And if again on there it says, if thy eye is good, it will see clearly. I'm not quoting this exactly, but if thy eye is made of darkness, then you won't see the love of the Creator. So it's all about the eye. It's all about that magi eye, right? It's a tool. It's a tool. This is how we commune, is up in the mountains, which is your head. And that's how we pray, and that's how we meditate, right? We look up. That's what I was always told, is that when we pray, we always look up to the heavens, right? We always think upwards. So if we're thinking upwards, of course, it's going to be within the head or within the middle of your chest, which would be where your soul resonates at. So the highest mountain, the land of Zion, which is your highest mountain, this is your temple. Your body is your temple. And we can talk and communicate with the Creator and with Christ. So it's so important to discover that personal relationship, discover that we can bring the city of peace within us. Within us, we have to bring the city of Shalom, the city of peace, from the heavens, down into our being. And once we do that, then we can bring the city of Shalom, the city of peace, the city of Jerusalem, to the world, piece by piece, right? We're lighting up the world. The world is changing. The world is shifting. The love of Christ, the love of the anointing, is becoming stronger. I honestly, me personally, I had never really ever thought that the love of Christ would be becoming stronger, right? Throughout my videos, I had always hinted that the light of Christ is where you need to go, but I always had to talk in a different way to speak to the New Age people, to the people who commune more with the fairies and the dragons and things of that nature. You couldn't really talk about Christ in that way because they always attach Christ to religion. But now it's getting out there, right? This whole Next Agers, thanks to Kingdom Talks for creating that. Karen is part of Kingdom Talks. So definitely check out Kingdom Talks on Facebook.com. And I don't know the website offhand, but yeah, just look up Kingdom Talks. You'll find them on there. But they're talking about the next ages because we're moving into the next age, right? We're moving into the end of an age, not the end of the world, the end of an age of the old paradigm of what religion was, of what people thought the Creator was, and what people thought what Christ was, right? We're bringing that new city of Jerusalem down and bringing Christ's teachings back to what Christ was talking about, right? A lot of the New Age stuff is Christ's teachings, but it lacks the light of Christ. So we're bringing that back, and it's just astonishes me, and it's so very beautiful that we can talk about Christ in a new way. I can talk about Christ the way that I had always wanted to talk about Christ. And it's just a beautiful thing. People's minds are opening up to all of these possibilities, thinking outside the box, reading outside the Bible, doing research on the Bible, right? There's so many books that are outside the Bible that should have been in the Bible. Again, the Bible is really a diary, the hero's journey of the soul. And it's so beautiful. But at the end of the day, it's all about discovering and being anointed in the spirit, claiming back our birthright, which I'm going to be making a video about, is claiming back our birthright, which is our soul at the end of the day. So I could keep talking on and on. So love yourself, keep shining bright. Again, my name is Adam Starseed Bey. If you're watching me on YouTube, just type in Adam Starseed Bey. Subscribe to YouTube, like the page, share it out. I talk about a lot of different things, from spirituality, things that are going on in the world, as well as many different other things. So definitely subscribe. You can also find me on Facebook.com/Real Talk Adam Starseed Bey. That's my main page. You get a hold of me right now. So if you got any questions or concerns, definitely get a hold of me there. If by chance in the future, if Facebook and YouTube go away, I will have a website in the future. So if I ever disappear and you're like, man, whatever happened to Adam Starseed Bey, just Google my name, Adam Starseed Bey, and in the future you will find a website of me. I don't know when it'll be up, but it will be up there someday. And a big shout out again to the Fringe Radio Network. It's ran by Iron Johnny, so definitely check that out. Fringe is www.fringeradionetwork.com. So definitely go check that out, and you can also check him out at Spreaker.com/Iron Show. So yeah, so giving him a shout out, and thank you for the awesome logo I can use on my YouTube now. So pretty cool. So yeah, so love yourself, keep shining bright, realize that you are the light of the world, and realize that you are a piece of that city of Jerusalem. You are a piece of that city of Shalom, the city of peace. You are bringing that from heaven down to earth. We are the lights. We are the light bringers to this world, in this world of darkness, in this world of Babylon. Babylon is the world, and Babylon translates into a state of confusion. This world is in a state of confusion, and it needs light to be shined upon the darkness that dwells on this earth right now, which is Christ's light will shine on this planet, and we will just light this sucker up like nothing else. So we're the pioneers, we're the next agers, and the world is going to continue to change and evolve in ways that you can never even fathom. So yeah, so anyways, love yourself, keep shining bright. I'll talk to you all later.